Howdy again, everybody. This is Doc from Thorofan coming to you with the name behind the race, and obviously this week we've got to focus on the main event up at Saratoga, the Midsummer Derby, the Travers Stakes. And who was Mr. Travers? What was the Travers? Why is the race named the Travers? Well, we are about to show you as we look at the name behind the race.
Every year, towards the end of August at Saratoga, the gates are sprung open and the field is sent on their way for the oldest stakes race in America, the Travers Stakes. The Midsummer Derby, as it is called by locals, is a fixture of the Saratoga meet, and it's steeped both in history and tradition. But who exactly is it named after? When he died in 1887, William Riggins Travers was called perhaps the most popular man in the metropolis. Born in 1819 in Baltimore, William made his fortunes in the stock market after graduating from Columbia College with a law degree. With those fortunes came the high society lifestyle, which allowed Travers to be a member of 27 different social clubs in the New York area. Everyone in New York knew him, and he was a fixture at any high-end event. He did talk with a little bit of a stutter, but never saw that as hampering him, even poking fun at himself on multiple occasions for it. He was also an avid fan of horse racing and formed Annie Wood's racing stable with partners George Osgood and John Hunter. They owned many great horses, including Kentucky, more on him in a second, and Alarm, who some consider to be one of the best sprinters ever bred. Many know the story of boxer turned gambler turned congressman John Morrissey, who was involved in running the first technical Saratoga meeting at the Horsehaven track on Union Avenue in 1863. There were other people involved, however, in the formation of the Saratoga Racing Association that put that meet on the first year. Although he was a school dropout, Morrissey was no dummy, and knew that a man with his past of boxing and gambling would not be the best type of person for the public to see representing the association, and so he looked to William Travers to serve as the association's first president. In 1864, he assisted in the purchase of land across the street from Horsehaven, where the current track sits today. The first race run at the new track was called the Travers Stakes in his honor, and it just happened to be a horse owned by Travers himself, Kentucky, that won the inaugural running. For the next 15 years, William would be on hand to present the winning connections with a trophy after winning the Travers Stakes. Oh, and that trophy that is presented to the winner of the Travers now, well, it wasn't originally designed to be used for that purpose. One of the best horses to ever run, the gallant Man o' War, won the Travers Stakes, and in 1920 he ran in a match race with the first Triple Crown winner, although nobody called it that until many years later, Sir Barton. The race took place at Kenilworth Park in Ontario, Canada, and the track had a trophy commissioned by Tiffany & Company to present to the winner. Man o' War easily won the race, and with it that gold cup. In 1936, Elizabeth Riddle, the wife of Man o' War's owner Sam Riddle, donated the cup to Saratoga with the stipulation it be presented to the winner of the Travers every year. The other stipulation was that a member of the Riddle family be present to present the cup to the connections of the winner as well. It is a tradition that continues to this day. Tradition is everywhere you look at Saratoga, and can be clearly seen by anyone who takes a look into the infield lake at the old spa. There you will find a canoe that is painted in the colors of the connections that win the Travers that year. It has been that way since they started doing it in 1961, even having to make a special case of two canoes for the only dead heat ever in Travers history between Alpha and Golden Ticket in 2012. Right now you'll see the canoe painted in the colors of Juddmonte Farm after Arrogate's Tour de Force win of last year. But come Sunday morning, new colors will adorn the canoe as it floats out there in the infield, witness to countless memorable moments in Travers history. There are so many memorable moments to choose from when looking back at past runnings of the Midsummer Derby. From Gallant Fox's unbelievable loss in the Saratoga slot to a 100-to-1 shot named Jim Dandy in 1930, to the amazing duel between Jaipur and Raidan in 1962, who hooked up at the start and went head-to-head for the entire length of the race.
Jiper on the outside and Ride Dan along the rail, still head for the lead. Johnny 6th and Military Plume is 7th. Coming into the stretch, that's Jiper out in the middle of the track, Cyan along the rail with Ride Dan. Coming through the stretch now, that's Jiper and Ride Dan still battling for the lead. Military Plume on the far outside coming on with Smart and Cyan. Now coming to the 16th pole, it's Jiper and Ride Dan still battling head and head. And as they go over the finish line, it's a photograph for the win.
To the 1982 edition that saw all three winners of the Triple Crown races that year square off in the Travers, only to be beaten by a Northern Invader. Only the second time in history a horse has defeated the Derby, Preakness, and Belmont winner in the same race.
Aloma's Ruler, they remain together. They have 3 on La Jolie, but La Jolie is making up lots of ground there at the top of the stretch. The mile and 35 and 4. Aloma's Ruler stays in front. On the inside, Conquistador Cielo. And now Conquistador Cielo puts ahead in front. Aloma's Ruler on the outside is second. And Runaway Groom from Canada moves up. Runaway Groom alongside the inner 2. Those 3 to the wire. Runaway Groom, Aloma's Ruler, Conquistador Cielo, Runaway Groom in front.
The Holy Bull's courageous run in the stretch to hold off Concern in 1994.
But there is cause for concern. Concern comes on. Second on the outside. Tabasco Cat is well behind in third. They're coming down to the final furlong. Mike Smith asking Holy Bull for everything he has. Concern is coming hard under Jerry Belly. It's still Holy Bull desperately trying to hold. Concern a final thrust, but it is Holy Bull as game as a racehorse can be coming down to the wire. Holy Bull wins. What a hero!
Now up to be fourth.
To the aforementioned dead heat between Alpha and Golden Ticket in 2012.
And then Nonios, then Liaison, as the field turns for home. And Alpha comes up on the far outside, charging after that lead. And down on the inside, it's Golden Ticket. Golden Ticket in with a huge upset chance here with 1 furlong to go. Alpha is a full out second on the outside. Fast Falcon coming on. Can Alpha catch Golden Ticket? Golden Ticket, Alpha. Fast Falcon on the outside and Anakin. And here's the wire. It is. Oh, it's too close to call. It's a dead heat in the Travers.
Around the
to finally the amazing and jaw-dropping track and stakes record run from the little-known, at least at that time, Arrogate.
Third, Connect is fourth. Gift Box is next. Exaggerator is coming wide as they come to the top of the stretch. It is Arrogate and Mike Smith. Oh, they've opened up a 6-length lead here with 1 furlong to run. They've left the field reeling behind. American Freedom and Gunrunner are fired behind Arrogate. What a commanding performance. He won the Travers by 12.
Well, there you go, everybody. Everything you potentially wanted to know about the Travers Stakes, as well as a look back at some of the more memorable renditions of this amazing classic race run up at Saratoga, and also a little bit of trivial tidbits for you there involving the Man o' War Cup and how it was not originally the trophy for the Travers. So you might be able to win a little trivia bet for that someday. It's going to be an amazing renewal of the Travers. You've got, for the first time since 1982, all 3 Triple Crown winning horses facing off with each other in the Travers. You could potentially have new shooters. You've got Good Samaritan, you've got IRAP, you've got Gervin. Almost any horse in this race really can win. You've probably got an assembly of all the top 3-year-olds, maybe with the exception of Classic Empire, and you've got an amazing undercard. Songbird, Mind Your Biscuits, so many more. DeFrong. I just hope everybody really gets a chance to enjoy the day and the races, and just hopefully make some money as well. That's about going to do it for this edition of The Name Behind the Race. If you happen to have a race that you're kind of curious about the origin behind or the name behind, drop us a line here at Thorofan. We'll be happy to research it for you. You never know, it might end up on a future segment. I'm Doc for Thorofan. We will see you next time on The Name Behind the Race.
If you're an incredibly passionate thoroughbred racing fan and want to find a whole bunch of people that are just like you, why not check out Thorofan? Thorofan.com. Sign up to become a member, get our amazing weekly newsletter, and learn everything and anything there is to know about this amazing sport we call thoroughbred horse racing. Thorofan, giving the fans a voice.